What they do, baby? Welcome to Vegeta State Army. Thank you guys for liking, watching, and subscribing. So today, I'm very happy. Very happy to be talking with my motherfucking OG, one of the most spiciest members of Vegeta State Army. We're doing a Commander Red deck profile. Alex, say hello to everybody.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing?
So Alex is now holding a pretty good track record of playing some what you would call sorry decks. Or that I've even said that myself. Like, you played what, Android 13 and did pretty goddamn well with it. What else did you play? Tell us about what you played before.
For sorry decks that I would be good at, even at like locals, because our locals is pretty competitive, I would say. I've done Commander Red now, Android 13, which is actually a really good deck. It was just slept on.
Rildo.
I did Dende Wish. I did Rildo at locals. Yeah, I went 4-0. Rildo.
Yeah.
I did Paikuhan. I haven't won at locals yet with Paikuhan, but I've won like 3-1 multiple times.
Yeah, so I think we're always expecting, like, what's he cooking up? So what people want to know is that, I mean, you're doing really good in that Eggman tournament yesterday. Shout out to Eggman, another OG. So
Yes.
you're playing Commander Red. People are curious about your list. If you're watching from home, Commander Red is a blue leader, and he has 2 autos on the front side. You choose one of your Red Ribbon Army cards with an energy cost of 2 or less. You place him in the drop when this card attacks, and you draw a card, and you switch one of your mono blue energy to active mode. And then the second auto is that when one of your Commander Red cards is placed in a drop by one of your skills, you can add cards from your life to your hand until you have 6 left, and then flip this guy over. Oh my god, I just realized he doesn't have like an awakening like on tap. So I'll ask you about that. First of all, what's up with that? I just realized that kind of sucks, doesn't it?
Dude, I have no idea why they printed this with no awakening. Like 4 or less, you can no. They just said nah, they don't need it. They don't need it.
Yeah,
But,
that's interesting.
It's really bad. It's actually horrible. I have no idea why it doesn't have that, because there have been games where things have happened and I can't get a Commander Red in the drop area because, like, let's say I don't draw into it, or I draw into it too late. I cannot play a Commander Red now, and now I am stuck on a 10k leader because I have no alternate awakening condition for some reason.
That's awesome.
Awaken, draw 1 leader in that one, but no, there's no alternate.
Alright, so on the backside, when he attacks, you draw 1 once per turn. At the end of a battle, when one of your Red Ribbon Army cards with an energy cost 2 or less attacked, you can place it in the drop. And if you do, you draw 1, untap one of your mono blue energy. And then, which is nice, I mean, this feels like an aggro deck, but it's pretty nice that you can, once per turn, activate main, tap a blue, choose a 4 or less battle card, and bottom deck it. So before, like, we go into the deck, tell me what, I mean, it is spicy, it does look fun, but why this deck? What do you like about it besides the character? Is it a challenge for you to kind of grab decks that nobody's going into? Is it like the advantage of it? What do you see in it?
So I do like playing decks that no one plays. You know, I'm not really a person that likes to play the meta decks. But no, when I was playing with Chris a long while ago, I was like, man, I really hope to make a Red Ribbon Army deck. That would be really cool to play with all the generals. They made the deck, and I looked at it, and I'm like, man, this deck is horrendous. This deck does not look good. And Chris was like, oh, you gotta play it. So, you know, eventually I caved in, and I like put it together, and I'm like, man, this deck is bad. I put it to the side, and then the other day when I was like, you know what, let me find another fun deck to play, I put it back together, and I realized, I'm like, wait, there might be actually something to this deck. I might have looked at it too fast. I mean, it reads very well. I mean, on your awakening turn, on the front side, you're untapping one, drawing one, flipping over, and then you're untapping one, drawing one on this side. So you're getting 2 untaps on your awakening turn, drawing 2.
Right.
So, I mean, it reads very well for a leader. And I mean, the activate main comes up sometimes. Like if I get floodgated and I can't like go aggro to your face, I can just bottom deck the card off your field, then play a little defensively on the back.
Right, that's fair. And I do think that they were thinking about some sort of like balance for this leader, because if you can untap too much energy, then you're kind of crazy, right? And I think that this leader, as a blue leader, I think this is what, like, when we think of what a blue leader does that's good, I think this is kind of what comes to mind, right? You're untapping on your turn, so you can be very offensive. So I think that's cool that this leader does something like that. And yeah, I'm sure maybe if he had more of an awaken ability, maybe he could be a lot better. But let's look at the list, which is what we all came here for. So starting off at the top left, one great thing about this deck is, by the way, I guess this is also like a budget deck profile, because the SR, most of the cards are pretty cheap, besides obviously some of the SRs that aren't from here. But starting off with Entered 18 and 15 and the Commander Red SR.
18 and 15. That's 14 and 15, my good sir.
Oh, 14 and 15? What did I say? I'm passing out. I'm so sorry. So yeah, you're running 3 of. You're running 3 of the 2-drop, Entered 14 and Entered 15, the Ravagers, and 4 of the SRs. Any of these ratios you change? And how do you like this card?
So I messed with I used to play 4/4 of each of the SRs, but the only good one out of them is Hidden Ambitions, the first one that you'll see there, the one where he's like just holding the Dragon Balls.
Yeah,
that one's good because when he attacks, he looks at the top 3 cards of the deck and can play up to 1 Red Ribbon Army, cost 2 or less among them from there, and puts the rest at the bottom. And then he does have an active main once per turn. I can choose one of my other Red Ribbon Armies, send it to the drop, and then bottom deck a 4 or less. I've never used that effect. It's never happened. I better think I want to kill my Red Ribbon Armies for. The other one, Commander Red Ribbon Unifier, is just when this card is played, draw 1. So it's not really anything special. We don't use the Spirit Boost. We don't play a Unison. Now, I barely played Red Ribbon Unifier, but when I have it, has felt good. You can leave it on the board so that the next turn when it comes up, you already have a Red Ribbon to kill off for your untap.
Unifier? Oh, right, okay.
So you don't have to play one. So, I mean, they're both good. You need to play them at 7 or more, because you need them to awaken. Luckily, Android 14 and 15, the Ravagers, the activate main on it says if your leader is a Red Ribbon, discard this top 5 for a Red Ribbon Army card, not an Android card. I had so many people like, wait, doesn't that search Android? No, Gamma just plays it, but they're all Red Ribbon Armies. So this can look for the Commander Reds. So that's why I play a few of these, and then late game it's just deck thinning so that I can start seeing my out of archetype cards. But no, I think this ratio is fine. It could probably be messed with. I mean, this isn't like a final list. Be aware that I threw this together like at the beginning of last week.
Yeah, no, it's true. You were, I mean, barely. I don't think even then, because I remember us talking about it. We were testing another spicy deck that was actually, I had an idea, and I was talking to you about how well you were doing with that red Android deck, and I'm like, dude, you should be trying the blue Commander Red deck, and you're like, really? And I'm like, yeah, you probably do good with it. And I mean, was it me or Al? I forgot who was telling you that, but we were all. And then you're like, yeah, probably.
It was just the boys when we were hanging out.
Yeah, I think it may have been Chris saying that, actually, not me. And you're like, yeah, sure, and you put it together. You really did well with it, which is pretty awesome. But so I don't think it was that long ago. So, but if you're trying to make this deck and you're watching from home, this is a good place to start. 3 of the 2 drops, 14 and 15s. The SRs, Hidden Ambitions at 4 of, Red Ribbon Unifier at 3. General Blue. I mean, the deck looks like what you're doing is you're playing these cards very cheap, removing them. It's kind of like swap, I'd say, no?
Kind of. So here we'll go into the next few cards here. So essentially, with your turn 1 wants to be this General Blue Ever Loyal. The 1-drop. If your leader is a blue Red Ribbon Army card, when this card is played, you either draw 1 or you play up to 1 skill list from your deck that costs 1, or drop it. Sorry, or drop it. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Now, believe it or not, Mr. Frank Castle always wanting advantage. I've never drawn off. Well, I think I drew off this one time yesterday.
Oh my god!
We mostly play the vanilla, and that's gonna sound very weird, but the vanilla, I used to not play this. I put 1 in the deck for testing. I'm like, oh my god, this vanilla is so good. It's ridiculous how good the vanilla is, because if you were Dyral and you go first, you play General Blue. and then you play the vanilla, you pass turn. Now you go on the next turn. You play one of the Commander Reds, swing with it, whatever. That's already one swing. Then you swing with Leader. That's 2 swings. Kill the Commander Red. Awaken. Now you can swing with Colonel Violet, which threatens a 10k, which your opponent is like, I can out combo this. They lose a card out of their hand. You just had a vanilla boosting hand control with that. And then you can kill the vanilla to now untap one and draw one. And then you can tap 2 for Piccolo the Infiltrator and go 20-20. So you're getting like a good amount of swings in. So there's a reason for it, and now you still have your other 1-drop on the board, which is going to sit there, and if they don't answer it, they know that you're gonna have another free untap one drawn on the next
Right. It'll be value for you. Yeah.
So they have to answer it. So that's why the vanilla is actually extremely good.
That's funny you said how good the vanilla is, like it had an effect, but it does. And it's like a less sacky, less aggressive Scions package, but it's really nice that you have that like so early in the game. And I see you have the 1 Colonel. Would you run it up more than 1, like just 2, just so you know that you're gonna see it?
Yeah, looking at this list, I'd probably cut a Boros out of the main and put a second one in, just because in testing there was one game where this was in life.
Yeah.
And dude, it hurt having the vanilla in life. I'm not even joking.
That's awesome.
It hurt.
Alright.
Now, the next guy, the one in the middle for some reason. This list, by the way, is like all out of whack because like, I didn't expect to play yesterday.
Yeah.
But my job approved my PTO, I think 40 minutes before Eggman's tournament. So I had to like throw the list up on deck. Yeah, shout out to Eggman for being patient with us, because I totally messaged him like 30 minutes before, hey, how do I sign up again? But then we have General Blue Red Ribbon Unifier. This one might be the best one of the archetype. This one says when one of your battle cards is removed from the battle area by a skill, could be yours or your opponent's, you play this from your hand. If your leader is a Blue Red Ribbon army, when this card is played, draw 1 card, choose one of your opponent's battle cards with a cost of 4 or less, return it to its owner's hand, this card gets plus 10 until it's not to your next turn. So, this is really good because if your opponent has an on-swing removal effect, and that card does not have barrier, you now tap 1, you play this, you draw 1, and you remove that card.
Wait, am I looking at the right card? It's the Unifier?
No, General Blue Red Ribbon Officer.
I'm trying to find it. Oh, yeah, the 2-drop.
And the 1-drop, yeah.
The 2-drop 10k with him crossing his arms. Okay.
So, during your opponent's turn, if you have a swing removal effect, because of the bottom auto, you play this during the opponent's turn, and you can remove the card that removes one of your cards. And now you have another ribbon card on the field for them to have to know that you're going to get an untap with that turn. So, there was, I played against a few decks that did have removal during their turn, obviously, like Trunks Jita, for an example. I played against 3 Trunks Jitas yesterday. But they were
great job, by the way, honestly.
Yesterday was a competitive day. I knew people were going to be testing for regionals. I just didn't expect, like, that level of seeing just gas decks every round. I don't think I had one, like, quote-unquote casual round. No, the Trunks Vegeta decks that I played against, like, for an example, they would remove my guy by swinging with the Vegeta, and then I would go, okay, tap 1, play this, return your Vegeta, EX evolve to your hand. And then the little one would fall off. And now I don't have to worry about a swing, and I got rid of the little one, and now the big one's stuck in their hand. So, I mean, yeah, they can EX evolve next turn, but what if I just kill you next turn?
Yeah. Fair.
Also, on your turn, it's just like when you swing with one of your guys, kill it off, untap 1, draw 1, now you can play this guy out. And he's a 20k swing, because he does get plus 10k power till the start of the next turn.
Yeah, I see that.
Okay. By the way, imagine reading, right? Because I thought he gained 10k power for the turn, it's until your next turn. So he's 20k bonus. I didn't know that. You see, this is what happens when you read cards.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, you just picked it up. And again, I am like literally, I am living proof that I was there when you thought of it, you started playing it, and then I thought like, oh, let's test it. And I remember the first time I played against it, I was playing Pan. And it was one of the best games we ever played, you and I. It was like amazing.
That was really back and forth.
Dude, it was such a good game. And like, I'm like, this is his barely build. I've been playing Pan since like set 3. Like, or whenever Pan came out, and then the reboot. I'm playing the reboot Pan, but like, it was a great game, and you had your shit together, and it was super aggressive. So if you like aggressive and you like blue, this deck's definitely for you. What about the Red Ribbon Army Assemble that you have a 2 of here? Activate
So-
main, play up to a 1 Ribbon Army, 2 or less, and 10k power or less from your deck, and shuffle it.
So this basically cheats out any of my Red Ribbon Army guys except for Commander Red and the 4-drop, which is like somewhere else in the list for some reason.
Yeah.
So, okay, here, we can look at it. So it can cheat out Ravagers at worst. It becomes a 5k combo
Yeah.
that it puts on the board. Or it puts on the board a guy that I can swing, untap one, draw one, so whatever. I normally use it to cheat out Ever Loyal during turn 1, the 1-drop General Blue.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that way I'm essentially running 6 copies of this card. My idea was like, I really want to see Ever Loyal on turn 1. So
Yeah.
I can play Red Ribbon Army Assemble, which is essentially 6 copies of this card. Or if late game, let's say I've run through my Ever Loyals, one game that happened, I just played one of the 2-drop General Blues, which is like a 20k swing that draws me a card, like it was just an advantage engine. So, or if you go to the bottom of the list, there's like an Android 8 down there.
Yeah. I see him.
I added him in more towards the last second, which is just the top 3 for a Red Ribbon Army, and if I have 3 or more energies, a 15k swing. So it's like, there's a good amount of options for this card.
Yeah, that's pretty great. Yeah. You place it at the and then at the end of the battle, when this card is attacked, you place it in its owner's drop area. And it's funny, you guys are always making fun of me for playing Surprise Attack Frieza, but I was playing Pan, and I'm like, oh great, he KOs his own battle cards, but you don't, you place them. And I was pissed because I was so happy I was getting to play Surprise Attack Frieza on you. Goddamn. And then you have one of the promos. Is that because you actually own one, or because you think 1 is the number?
So this was played for funnies, right?
Yeah.
So I own one, and Chris was like, "Dude, it's a great card. You should play." By the way, I hate this card. This card sucks. This card is horrible.
I'm trying to read it. Yeah, go on.
So, permanent. If you have a Commander Red in play, it becomes a 1-cost 15. Sounds good, right? You're never playing a Commander Red past turn 1, right?
Yeah.
So he's always going to be like a 2-cost. Auto limit 1. If it's your turn when this card is placed in your drop area, no. If it's your turn when this card is placed in your drop area, buy a skill, choose up one of your blue Red Ribbon Army cards, it gets plus 5k for the thing. So the idea is like, oh, I have a Commander Red on the field. Let me play this, let me swing, untap one, draw one, and be my leader for the turn, or be one of my other guys for the turn. The issue is you're never going to have really a Commander Red on the field because you never want a Commander Red to see on the field. I understand the theory behind it because, like, maybe you want this guy on the Commander Red Ribbon Unifier on the field, but the other drop if you're spirit boosting, but I don't play a Unison, so this card's useless in my deck. I kind of play this because if I swing with Hidden Ambitions, it's another target, and it is a 15k target. Okay. Honestly, I play this card at 0, but I played it for 1 because Chris is annoying.
Alright, fair. And then let's move to the middle of the list here. You're playing 2 Sensibine.
First, we have the boss card.
You're right. Which has amazing art, by the way. As far as art goes.
Oh no, that card's beautiful. I love that card. So Red Ribbon Robot Colossal Power is the boss card. It is a dual attack blocker. So like if you get floodgated on your first attack, you at least have a blocker still standing. This guy says when one of your Red Ribbon Army cards is removed by a skill, so you just swing with it, you kill one, you kill it, you untap one, draw one, now you can play this guy. He comes down for 3. When one of your Red Ribbon Army cards is removed from your battle area by a skill while he's on the board, he gets plus 5k power for the turn, which is easy to do because his own effect removes a Red Ribbon Army card to give himself critical and double strike. So if your opponent's not expecting a little bit of aggro, I mean, you can throw this out on turn 3, and you can go 30k, dual attack, double strike, critical, which is really good.
Yeah.
But every time I've played this card, I've lost the game.
Really?
Yeah, I've not won 1 game playing this card, I don't think. And it's really weird to say that because the boss card reads so well.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm playing it wrong because, again, I'm new at the deck. Maybe I'm playing it wrong, but every time I've played it so far, I've lost the game.
Yeah, I mean, it is an overcommitment, maybe. I think it is good, at least, that it's critical. Because I feel like when you're aggro, you're giving your opponent so many cards to their hand that a finisher that can be critical to make those last couple of swings kind of costly to your opponent is pretty important. But I can see a world where, I mean, it has no protection and it has no deflect, so I can see maybe...
that's like the issue I have with it, is it has no protection, it has no deflect, and In the really off chance I'm playing against like another budget player, if they're playing, it can get Heroine's lineaged.
No one's playing Heron's lineage.
I understand that, but I'm just saying like it's
a 6 drop. Yeah.
Unstate for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. And then right under it is the last Red Ribbon card, because for some reason that's on a different row. The Villainous Threat. That came out in Fighter's Ambition.
This card kicked my ass when you played me.
Yeah, no, this card's great in this deck. If one of your Red Ribbon Army cards is removed from the battle area by a skill, you can just play them for 1, and then you kill one of your Red Ribbon armies to give them critical. So like on turn 1, really, you can play this guy, and if you, because on turn 1, if you played the General Blue to play the skillless, you can swing with the leader, you can kill the skillless, untap 1, draw 1, play this guy, kill your General Blue. Now this guy's a 25k critical on turn 1.
Dude, I think I saw you like resolve Villainous on Kenny the other day.
That was the first game I played back with this deck. Was Kenny
Wait, that was the first time you played with the deck?
Well, not the first time I played with the deck, but the first time I put back together. I like threw 4 of these in it because I'm like, oh, this card's probably the best card for the deck.
Yeah.
I cut it down to 2 afterwards. It's like, I don't really want to kill my guys that much because it was doing too much suicide.
Okay.
No, against Kenny, he was playing the Swohan structure deck, and I did resolve, I think, Villainous twice. Because, like, this is limit 1, but, like, he was having trouble removing it because it was 25k in that deck. Like, he was playing that deck fine, but that just has too many restrictions. Anyway, I just play 2 of these.
It's a green deck.
Yeah, I don't like killing my guys too much like that, but, hey, it's early pressure or late game pressure. It's really good.
Yeah, right. The overrealm of choice that you have here is the Heated Fight Spirit. Talk about that one, because let me see. Choose one of your opponent's battle cards. You have this card? I haven't seen you use this card. No, you haven't, but...
I just got it in the mail from...
oh, cool.
So this is the new one that just came out. Heated Fighting Spirit is basically just Dark Broly, but better. Because Dark Broly does the same thing, except it has no combo power. This one has combo power.
Oh, great. Okay.
So this is just overall better than Dark Broly. Now, yes, Mass Identity is back in the format, so you can play Mass Identity if you want. There's an argument for both of these cards. I play this one because it pings off SCRs. If my opponent has an SCR on the board that's above a cost of 7, I can kill it off the board. Mass Identity cannot do that.
Yeah.
That's the reason I play this one, because there were times during that day where my opponent was going... one of my opponents went at the end of near the end of my turn when I had like 1 card, I had like a couple cards left but no energy left. He like comboed Gohan Piccolo for the next turn. And I just went, okay, play this guy and get rid of it. I don't want to do that. And it would just get rid of like important things. And people are like, oh, but what if you want to get rid of tokens? Like, cool, this can still get rid of the blocker token. It chooses 1 card and warps it. Like. This card's good, in my opinion. I think it's fine. Also, it's a 30k Mass Identities of 25. That actually does come up sometimes.
100%. Yeah. And one thing that like pisses me off is that you're one of those people that runs Samasu Sacred Disbelief.
Oh yeah, the 3-1 split. So whenever I throw together a blue deck, I'm like, can I get away with a 3-1 split with 1 Zamasu or 1 Kefla or like 1 stupid super combo?
Mine's Kefla, for example. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, can I do Kefla? Can I do Zamasu? What's the other one? The other one that works.
So it's Kefla, it's Zamasu, and that's it, I think.
Yeah, no, that's it. Because the other one is Chilai, but that's for yellow or blue. So no, it's like Zamasu or Kefla for blue. But Zamasu is normally what I do when I'm playing blue. So like the super combos are pretty fine. I mean, the Vegeta bottom deck 1 draw 2 if you're 4 or less. But the Zamasu helps for defense because opponents, when they see the Vegeta, they'll be like, oh, he's not playing Zamasu, or they'll just forget about it. A lot of people just forget Zamasu exists, and they'll swing with like a battle card first. Like when I played against Golden Frieza, he used the Icarus Unison. He played the vanilla. He went swing with Icarus Unison, the leader. I'm like, sure. He's like, combo 1, go to 20. I went 25, rest your leader. Now you can't get his draw.
That sucks.
So like it punishes people for missequencing. After that, he never swung with his Icarus, but he always swung with his leader. So it makes them play a little differently. But no, I love the Zamasu. It's a nice one-up. I wouldn't play more than 1 though.
Alright, so we have Sense being at 2, which I understand. It's just a defensive card now. Realm of Gods at 1. It is still a really good defensive card.
Realm of the Gods at 2 in there.
Say what now?
There's 2 of them. You said it was 1. It's a 2 of.
Oh yeah, 2 of them. Sorry. And then we have the 3 Borgos here, which I think is I mean, obviously, 2 UI Kamehameha maybe I feel like should be higher or no.
I definitely did use it. It was not used as much as Borgos was. I'm sorry, not Borgos. Realm was. Because Realm draws a card, UI doesn't. UI did help me get out of some combos that I needed to get out of, though. So, I mean, I think UI at 2 is fine, but again, you can mess with the list however you see fit.
Yeah. And one thing watching you play the Secret Rare is like, this is one of the coolest decks for this SCR in a way. Just because you're already on tapping so much and it's so aggressive that this card is just nuts in a deck like this. And I can see why people love playing it in blue aggro, and your list is really aggressive. And it's like, and I get to turn 2 and I'm like, did you just swing at me like 8 times?
Oh no, yeah, this deck is super aggro, and then going into turn 3, I can really just like drop this and put you at 2 life, which is really like disgusting that early for a blue deck. Like I played against an Invoker 17 player who basically, like, he said out loud, he's like, "Oh, you're playing blue, you're probably not aggressive." And next turn I put him to like 4 or 3 life points.
That's awesome.
So it was just
like, so sick.
It was just like, this deck has a surprising amount of aggro within it. But yeah, no, Beast Gohan is it's not the SEO that you have to play. I mean, I play it because I own it, and it's like, if I own Beast, I'm gonna play Beast in my deck probably.
I think it is for this deck. I think it is 100%.
I mean, Baby Hatch is still good.
Yeah.
I don't know about Divinity. You have some noise coming off.
Yeah, my bad. That was my phone.
I don't know about Divinity because you don't really want to get to turn 4. Sometimes it happens, and if you have Divinity, I mean, maybe that just wins you the game on turn 4.
Yeah.
But I think Beast is really good for the deck. I mean, because you're punching your opponent so much, they're going to have a higher hand count than you, and then you just play this in Inferno Life.
Right.
Against Android 21, that's how I won my game. Because I had a Borgos in my hand the whole game, just 1 Borgos, and I'm like, I can't play this until I want to kill him. So like, I swung with a token because I needed to start resting the tokens, and he knew what I was going to do, so he countered attacked with his full power counter, and he tapped out. I'm like, oh, okay, tap 1, play Borgos, because he can't use the N-Archetype V magic, because the N-Archetype V magic actually only untaps 1. So even if he did that, he would have lost that energy and lost a life. And I'm like, yeah, play Beast Gohan. And now I put him down to 2, and now he just sat there and he was just like, yeah, I can't outcome him.
He was playing checkers, and you're like, rook to F5, basically. Fucking Jesus.
But no, that game was super fun. Like, I honestly didn't expect to win against 21 with this deck, but hey, what happens happens.
So you've got the 2 clone negates, not much to talk about there. And then lastly, I do love the that you added the infiltrator, and dude, you're beating us. Like, you're doing a great job, like, without Piccolo the infiltrator and Pan Glimpse of Talent, and we're like, dude, just add, like, how much better is that deck? We're like laughing watching you play with this deck and like do good, because like I know how funny it is to like be in a competitive environment and like watch you like play some bullshit, dude. Like, and like someone's sitting across from me like, oh, this is free, and you just throttle someone.
No, Nico put a screenshot in the group chat when I went against a 21 player, where some guy in Eggman's chat was like, "Oh, this should be a candy match for 21."
Fuck yeah, dude! I was at work. That sucks. Did you really? That's awesome, dude.
I didn't realize that until after the game was done. But no, it's just really fun. My favorite thing probably is when I sit down and my opponent goes, "What does your leader do?"
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, they pick it up, trying to yeah. So Piccolo this card makes a lot of sense in your deck. So does it get in the way? Because I know it's you play it early, it's dual attack. It even gives you a card with Pan, but does it get in the way in the little androids you play early on?
Okay, so the only issue I have really with the deck is that the deck top 3s a lot for stuff, which is horrible. I don't know why we're top 3 in set 17, but we're top 3. So like Commander Red, the SR2 drop, and the Hidden Ambitions and 8 for his friends, they top 3 for Red Ribbon Army cards. He's not a Red Ribbon Army card. They should have given it to him, honestly. Like, how would that have hurt this? Because, I mean, he was in the Red Ribbon Army at this point, but whatever. So he just gets in the way of like those cards, but other than that, I mean, it's more beneficial than how much it hurts.
Wait, are you mad that they didn't make Piccolo a Red Ribbon Army card?
No, I'm meaning so.
Yeah,
Relax.
I know, I'm kidding, but that's awesome.
But,
No, I mean the card. So do you keep it on Mulligan if you see one?
I'll keep one. Yeah, if I see one, I'll keep one. The only time I won't keep it is if I open no Commander Reds.
Okay, right, fair, because you want to see that.
I kind of need to see a Commander Red.
Yeah.
Now I only play 2 Pans because it's just like later in the game I'll just give this thing barrier. I mean that's not horrible, and I don't want to flood my deck with out of Red Ribbon Army cards. Mm-hmm. So 2 Pan is fine. In fact, giving itself barrier actually came up into Trunks Vita quite often because I would go tap 2, play this. Okay, your Trunks can't rest this now, and now I can play Beast Gohan.
Oh, okay, awesome, yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean I had competitive matches. I wasn't expecting all of them to be competitive, but it was like. I think it was 3 Trunks Vita. It was 3 Trunks Vita, Android 21, Invoker 17, and Golden Frieza, I believe, were my matches.
That's crazy. How many Trunks Vita you said?
3.
And did you beat all of them?
I beat one of them.
Okay. And
so funny story, round 1, I sat at the wrong table and played the wrong guy, right? And I didn't realize it because the guy that was assigned to that table, his name was Alexander, and then his last name was like IAW, but it looked like a lowercase LAW. So I'm like, oh, this is my table. Yeah. So I sat and played against him. I got a round 1 loss because I was supposed to play Asperia, apparently. I had no idea.
Okay.
And then round 2, I got paired against him again, so we got the run back, and I beat him that game.
Okay.
And then in Top Cut, I lost. So moral of the day, because again, this is a list that's thrown together, I need to put Desperate Measures in this deck. I'll probably just replace all 3 Borgos with 3 Desperate Measures. Yeah. Because, dude, yellow is so rough with 4 Vegito, 4 Repose. That is so disgusting. Yeah. But like, if I can deal with those, I think this deck has something going for it, and that's the only issue I really came across today. Is I had really no main deck answer to Riposte and Vegito, and that also extends to Android 17 Defending Friends.
Okay, and then talk about also your 21 matchup, because I know that you're playing that, and I was briefly watching, and then I know that you ended up winning the game. So talk about that matchup and how you did with it, because people seem to think that I mean, and it is obviously very good, but so you were able to beat it. We test a lot against it,
So yeah, Chris played it a lot, so I have an idea of how the deck plays and what it wants to do. That deck you have to play very awkwardly, especially if you're playing a blue deck, because you're giving them so much energy to work with just by playing your battle cards. So if you watch the game, you'll see me comboing cards off. Normally I don't combo cards off my board like that. Normally I'll leave cards on the board to do stuff. During that match I was comboing off my red ribbon guys because I didn't want to give them the blue energy. You need to swing with the tokens first typically on your turn, either the tokens or your leader first. Mostly the tokens first because you want to rest them so that he doesn't have the energy to work with. That's like the main idea. And that's what I was doing most of the game. Early game, it's easy to apply pressure to that leader because that leader can't use extra cards on the front side.
Right.
So I went, so early, I think it was turn 2, I put him to 4 life, but he still wanted to search, and he has to take a life to get the search, so he put himself to 3. And then from there it was just like, I was just playing like a grindy blue game, where he was ramping a few times, I was trying to control his board, until I was confident enough that I swung with a token, and he realized that if I kept swinging with the token, he wouldn't be able to floodgate me with a counterattack. So he floodgated me. And I mean, at that point, I was able to just play Borgos, play Beast Gohan, and, he couldn't do anything from there.
Nice.
But it's just like you have to manage your own board in a way that's not going to screw up your strategy. Because otherwise, then you're kind of dead in the water. And luckily in that matchup, the activate main on the leader comes up. Because the 4-drop ramper, you can just get rid of it. It doesn't have bear.
4-drop, right. It gets rid of a 4-drop or below, true.
So you just start bottom decking stuff off their board. If you're getting floodgated like that, this same goes into yellow against Trunks Vegeta. I was doing this to like their Vegeta and to their Riposte when they were doing it. I would just bottom deck them to get them off the board to get like swings off of them if I was already floodgated.
Awesome. So yeah, if you're watching from home, here's a list. I love it. I can't wait to see what you do next. I have the Z deck here. You've got 2 Beerus, 1 Surmounting, 2 Cell, 1 Vegito. What were you
So-
playing? What came up Z deck wise?
So Beers came up a lot actually, the most. Cell somewhat came up, but Beers came up the most. You'll notice this is 6 cards because I couldn't find my 7th one. Again, I threw this together for last. The 7th one should be Goku Stronger Together. The one that says if your opponent's at more than 10 cards, they bottom deck until they have 10 left.
Yeah.
Because against Golden Frieza, that was a game where I would have played that card, and that card would have been in my Z deck because the guy had like 17 cards in there.
Yeah.
So like just doing that and then dropping these Gohan on them, it's like feels bad for them. But Beerus was really the guy. Like there were times where I would look at my board state. I would be like on turn 3 and I'm like, I don't need to apply a super amount of pressure. Playing Beast here might not be the correct move. No, I'm just going to tap 2 for Beerus and I'm going to pass turn with him in active mode. So my opponent can't swing at him. And now the next turn came up and now I had a Beerus on the field. I played Beast Gohan, which is going to untap 2. So essentially Beerus's activate main once per turn is now free because my Beast Gohan is going to untap 2. I have my leader. I potentially have like some Red Ribbon guys on the board. So it's just like this Beerus sticking on the field was really good, especially into Invoker 17 because they have that Z-Stack Android 17. I was just getting rid of it. I deleted it 2 turns in a row, and he couldn't. Like, he just lost the game because of it. Vegito didn't come up. Cell came up when they were going wide. Like the Frieza player kept like putting multiple Frieza army guys on the board, and I was just like, yeah, play Cell pass. Like eat his whole board. So he couldn't get a riposte. But like it was just
Like
that was
pass.
yeah, I was just he'd floodgate me and then I'd be like, oh, you're supposed to be tap 3 for Cell, eat your board, pass it. And then he would out the Cell. He outed the Cell. He left on the board again another like little 1 drop, and then I swung again. Next turn he riposted me again. I'm just like, okay, play Cell again, just eat your whole board again. And then finally he was like out of floodgates, and I was able to just play Beast Gohan and win from there. And just flood him.
Now,
I'm sorry?
Because we were going to side deck. This was best of 3, right?
This was best of 1 pre-side in Swiss, and then top that was best of 3.
Oh, okay, guys. So let's talk about the side deck.
So the side deck, 2 Dirty Burst for tall matchups, like I guess SS4 for an example. Didn't play an SS4 that day, so I didn't really side this in. There's an argument to side this in against yellow because of Mira and Gohan Piccolo SCR. But I didn't side this card. Cunning was for 21. I sided it, did not see it, so fun time. Koitsukai, it was my only yellow card, and this actually helped me win the game against yellow, and my Trunks Vegeta that I won because this was just making them lose so many cards. I think against Trunks Vegeta, he lost 4 cards 1 turn and 2 cards another turn, and that really we ended up having like an even hand count because of it. So I mean, Koitsukai really, I'll probably up this. 3.
Yeah, when we were testing, you coiced me, and I just dropped 4. I think you coiced me twice.
I double coiced you.
Yeah, you fucker. And I'm like, well, I'll just drop 5. I'm so mad. I was like, damn it, Alex.
I'm like double coit, swing with the red ribbon battle card. You're like, yeah, repose.
Yeah, fuck you, dude.
And then I'm like, yeah, kill, untap, draw. I don't care if I'm under repose, tap 2 Beast Gohan.
Yeah, you're a dick.
You want to keep negating? Go ahead. Keep negating.
But I love it. It's so much fun playing with you because I'm like, I don't know. I'm learning, watching your friggin' deck play. And then you have Shin at 4, right?
Yeah, Shin's at 4, just again for tall matchups, like 7 or higher matchups. Same idea as Dirty Burst. I didn't side this in. Heavenly Wizards of Meager, this is again for tall matchups. I didn't side it in.
And you're scared of them tall boys.
I didn't have a side deck. I literally grabbed most of my cards from like other decks that I'm like, can these work? And I'm like, okay, these can work in this deck. This is literally just a side deck. This is not a real side deck.
Yeah.
And then I have 1 singular Borgos.
Yeah. So let's see. I'm gonna blow up the deck here for you guys watching at home. Alex, you have any final advice for anyone trying to pick up the deck? Any changes you'd make? Anything?
Buy Desperate Measures.
Yeah, buy Desperate Measures. Yeah, that's pretty good. Piccolo the Infiltrator. How big do you think that card is in this deck? How important?
actually really good in this deck because turn 2 being able to just throw that out there and apply 2 more damage worth of pressure or getting cards out of your opponent's hand is pretty big. So I honestly would play this at 4 in the deck.
Okay.
There are some other Red Ribbon Army cards that people have asked me. They asked me about like the 4-drop General White. He's not really that good. The Mercenary Tau is a good one to choose because you're playing a lot of General Blues to kill off for it. If you wanted to play that, that could be good.
Oh yeah, you played that against me. I don't see it here. You're right. Why'd you take it out?
I cut him out because he isn't a Red Ribbon Army card for some reason.
Oh.
He got hired by the Red Ribbon Army. He literally was. That's the one I am upset about. It's like, why is he not a Red Ribbon Army?
Yeah.
But he's not a Red Ribbon Army. So if I kill off my General Blues to play him, yes, I get a free 15k swing. But now I can't kill him to untap and draw. So I value the untapped draw over a free 15k.
No, yeah, I know what you mean. All right, that's fair.
And then there's like a little. Then if you're thinking about upping your targets for hidden ambitions, I mean, there's a 1-drop blocker. Is his name FM? I think it's Major Metallitron or something like that. It's the robot.
Okay.
He's just a blocker that like when he blocks his KOs, he can like look top 3 or something and play somebody. He's not that good. So I mean, I think these are the good Red Ribbon cards. Stressing the word good there. But maybe just cut out Failed Fighter. The Champ Pack promo is just not good. I mean, you can do what you want with the deck. Again, this is just a rough deck that I threw together in like a week.
Yeah, that's great. So thanks again, Alex, for bringing us another spicy deck. We've been working on some spice. We're cooking. So stick around. I have something cooking. I think you have more decks cooking. Chris has something as well that we'll bring to the channel. So stick around the channel. And if you have any questions for Alex, go to the comment section. If you do want to build his deck, yeah, go to the comment section. Tell us what you would do differently. Tell us what you think that he did that you liked, that maybe you didn't think of. Maybe if you want to give him any advice or any questions, go to the comment section, ask away. And yeah, Alex, we'll be back soon. We have more videos coming up. So yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.